Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode from Ampro Engineering and another installment on Project Bandit. This is actually the first time that I'm able to install the body the way it should be installed. In the last episode, we attached the transmission, and off camera I just wired up the motor wires from the motor to the ESC, so now we do have an operational car. Then screwed on the top, and there is a light pipe that sandwiches onto this piece right here onto the LED. I have it. I don't know where it is, but I've had it since I was a little kid, so I'm gonna find it. Some adhesive we've got to get off the case still right there, but I think overall we're on the right track. So we do have all four wheels. They're in okay shape. The lips here are kind of banged up, but not surprising. That we can clean up a little bit. One of my front wheels had this big crack in it right there, so we can't use that. The Bandit, fortunately, does come with a spare tire. So I happen to have the one from this truck, and it has a good wheel. What's funny about the tires on this truck is that they're perfectly pliable. The back tires feel great, but its brother that I've had since I was also little, the tires, I mean, these tires are like steel. They're flat spotted. I don't know what the deal is. And the front tires from that one, I've actually never had. When I bought the truck, these were both used. And when I bought it, it just didn't have them. So we're gonna try and peel these off the rim. We just got a screwdriver in here and just try and peel them off the wheel here. Okay, that's coming right off now. Okay, cool. Tires are off. I mean, they show absolutely no signs of cracking. I don't know why some begin to crack and some don't. So I'll take all the tires off. All four tires are ready to be sprayed down with some oven cleaner. That's going to get off the paint on them, and I'm hoping it's also going to take the chrome with it. While the rear tires are being stripped, let's focus on the rear shocks. So the idea is to mount them upside down like this, which will increase unsprung weight, but I'm not worried about it. Now the inner diameter of these are 4. It was, of course, asking too much to think that they were just going to fit over this. The outer diameter is 4.5. So that's 0.5 millimeter or more that would need to be removed from the outer casing here to make these fit. It's possible we can just cut this feature off here and just install a screw. Let me measure how deep this hole is. Quite. Wow, that's got a lot of bite to it. This thing is 15 millimeters deep, so I don't feel bad snipping the ends off of this. Now, before I do that, let's take a look at the body. I've designed these little guys here. To be honest, I don't know if these are going to work either. The idea here is to remove the eyelet that was on the end of the shock shaft and replace it with this little guy here. So that'll be threaded in here. I'm just going to pretend it's threaded in right now because I've actually got to thread it still. And then this has a mating part here that goes on top and clamps it like that, roughly, to one of these posts here and this shaft on this side. I'm going to tap these real quick. Upper shock retainers have been tapped with an M3 tap. And this inner boss has also been tapped with an M2 tap. Mount is then threaded onto the shock body like this. On the other side, we'll get the cap right here, and that will clamp it onto those posts on the bed of the Nissan. Well, given the significant depth that we have here for these bosses, we're going to trim these off a little bit, so you don't need them. Cool. That is clean. You can very easily screw those in place with the original screw. If you're wondering if this mounting scheme is strong enough, that's a great question, and I will answer it by changing the subject. Let's go ahead and install these shocks now. Both rear shocks are installed. Nothing more than an M3 screw. These are only 6 millimeter long screws, and just thread it into place, and now the shocks are just dangling. Now we install it on the transmission. The shocks mounted to the transmission quite easily. It's just those 2 screws that I used. And now, theoretically, let's give it a shot. We have shocks. That's fantastic. And again, of course, I know these are upside down, but geometrically speaking, that's the only way that they would fit. Wow. The body isn't attached to the chassis because the body screws into the roll bar, which isn't here. So it's not really working as it should, but nevertheless, we've got some shocks. Well, folks, I think that's going to do it for this episode here. In the next episode, we'll throw on a roll bar and put some tires on this little guy and hopefully take it for a spin. And that would really just leave paint and body, and we are done with this project. Thank you all so much for watching, and thanks for sticking around. We'll see you next time.